Well, BookTube, the jig is up, the mystery of my return revealed. I just couldn't stand by any longer while Steve Donohue's reign of terror raged on. Couldn't stand by whilst he continued to be wrong about almost every subject under the sun, day in, day out. So I thought I'd come back basically just to irritate him, and mission accomplished, BookTube, because in less than a week of me being back, he's already gone out, and just through his pure and utter hatred of me and my channel, he's gone out and bought, and probably read by now, a Stephen King novel, just to prove me wrong. And this was without me even saying I like Stephen King. So if you want to spend the rest of your days in your little book room, Steve, in a seething rage, and it's no skin off my back. But I would like to offer a truce in this video. There's not going to be any mention of Cormac McCarthy or Stephen King, and I've even changed my background to appease you. So I've got some nice dusty old hardcovers of dead presidents and kings and queens and old wars, so it should keep me happy whilst I talk to the rest of you about my weekly reads. It's not been a strong week for reading. You may have heard there's been a bit of a heat wave sweeping across the UK and Europe. In a bit of a dip at the moment, but it's only going to get hotter again tomorrow, and Monday and Tuesday is going to be literally off the charts. It's going to be hotter than it's ever been in the history of this small country. Which we are not prepared for in any way. So, I mean, I've experienced 40-degree heat before, but in an entirely different context in Spain, where there is access to swimming pools and air conditioning, things we don't have here. So, not particularly looking forward to the coming week either. But I've been reading. I'll start off with The New Yorker, which I'm not necessarily going to talk about every week, but unless there's something to say, but I would like to show the cover, which I think is a cover you can set your watch to. It's kind of quality I expect from the New Yorker in comparison to last week's, just slightly disappointing one. This is by Lorenzo Mattotti, and it's called Adventures Ahead. So not a political cover in any way that I can think of, just very striking and pretty. I'm sure Steve's going to sound out in the comments below and say what an ugly, horrible cover it is, and that a child could have drawn it, etc. But we're all entitled to our opinions, Steve. So it's actually a double issue, which means there's not going to be an issue next week, which is slightly upsetting, because this is only the second one that's come to me since I've renewed my subscription, so I'm going to have to pace myself a bit over this one. And it's also a fiction issue, which means it's almost entirely made up of short stories. Read a short story by Brian Washington this morning called Arrivals. I think Brian Washington is a bit of a BookTube darling. I'm not really sure. I found the story to be quite underwhelming, but I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I would certainly try one of his books. I don't know, what do you guys think of Brian Washington? Have you read him? Do you like him? The other thing I want to talk about is the Caption Contest. The Caption Contest is where they show a cartoon and you've got to send in a funny caption for it. I have a bit of a conspiracy theory about the Caption Contest. Nowhere in the rules does it say that you can't send a caption in if you live outside the United States. Excuse me. However, I have sent in many captions over the years, and what I would consider to be winning entries, and never been published, and I'm pretty sure I've never seen anyone else publish who lives outside the United States either. It's all people from, so for example, this week Washington, Florida, and someone else from Washington, in fact, and someone from Georgia. And I think I know the reason why. It's because they're afraid. They know the Brits are funnier people, and they're afraid that if they let the Brits in, the Americans, even in their greater numbers, won't stand a chance against us. So it's a bit of conspiracy theory. But this week's is a picture of an elephant in a lift and a man saying something to another man. So I started off just brainstorming. I came up with I hope you're not going up, which is not bad for a first effort. And then I was sort of throwing ideas against the canvas. I came up with please tell me you see that as well, which just brainstorming to get everything out. And then I finally landed on there was a mouse on the stairwell, which is clearly a winning entry. Absolutely hilarious stuff. There's top-rate comedy, so I've sent that in, and if it doesn't get published in a couple of weeks, we'll know there's something very fishy going on at the New Yorker, because it doesn't really get much funnier than that. So look forward to that. Also, I don't remember them when I used to be a subscriber, them publishing the crossword, they have the tool. So, but in the last couple of issues they have, which has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed doing these. A bit trickier this week, so I only started it, but a bit trickier. So that's the New Yorker. And in terms of books, I'm gonna have to make an amendment on my mid-year freakout tag, because I found the best book of the year, the most beautiful book that I've received, and a book that's made me happy, and it's this Radiohead "Back to Save the Universe," which is a lyric from Airbag. Correct. Well done, class. It's the stories behind every song by James Doheny or Doheny. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And it's just that. I mean, it was published in, well, first I'd say a family friend picked this up in a charity shop for me, knowing I was a big fan. I'm a big fan of Radiohead, so very, very kind of him. I did actually, he didn't give it to me for free. In fact, I did actually pay him for the book. That's another story. So it published in 2002, so it includes every song up until Amnesiac and the I Might Be Wrong live recordings EP. And it's brilliant. I mean, it includes sort of historical background of the band, their politics, their influences on each song, so ranging from the Beatles, REM, U2, and later on more electronic stuff like Aphex Twin and Auteca. And the writer is a composer and musicologist, and so he does include some sort of theoretical analysis of some of the songs, like chord progressions and time signatures, things I pretend to understand, which is really neat as well. It is an American publication. I don't actually know if James Doheny is a American. It says here he's a composer and musicologist trained at the Royal Academy of Music in London, and a journalist for BBC's Radio World Service, and he lives in the United Kingdom, which seems to imply that he is English, but there are things in here which an Englishman would never say. I mean, for example, he says that 3 of the band members majored in English at college, by which of course he means 3 of the band members read or studied English at university. So I'm not really sure, he might have just been Americanized, but I'll just show you some of the illustrations, or pictures, I should say, in here. Let's just pick out a few of my favourites. So this is one of Tom York looking very playful. I could look at pictures of Tom York all day. Here is one of the band in all their glory. Very playful. Some example of some of the text there as well. And just a fantastic picture of Tom York, which I don't think I'd ever seen before. Let's try and get this in so you can... Oh, well, you can see it, that's fine. So yeah, that was... I consumed that in a couple of days, really, but it was a good distraction from the heat for me. But I haven't made... Other than that, I haven't made much progress on the Cormac McCarthy. Oh, sorry, Steve. Haven't made much progress on the other book I was reading either, the non-fiction book, so not much to report there. But this did arrive today. It's a novel by Lauren Groff, which an author I was speaking about last week, called Fates and Furies, so I'm looking forward to sinking my teeth into this. Not until I finish the Cormac McCarthy, because I generally don't like to start one novel until I finish another. Now I haven't got the brain capacity to do that anymore, so yeah, but I look forward to reading this anyway. Other than that, I think that's everything. So thanks very much for watching BookTube, and I hope you're having a fantastic weekend, and good luck during the heat wave. And if you've should ask if you've read any of these books, or if you're a fan of Radiohead especially, do let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to talk to you about that. Okay, thank you, bye.